the language of this bill not only violates the United States Constitution, right, in itself, but it also violates other aspects of federal regulation and federal law as well, right?
Yes. There are programs like 287G where the federal government specifically delegates authority to local cities. Cities can opt into that if they choose to, and there are some that have, but it's there because it's an agreement between the state and the federal government. This is usurping even the 287G program and making it apply to the entire state of Texas.
And earlier you asked the bill author about issues of people being previously deported, correct?
That's correct.
And the bill author seemed really confused because I'm not sure he understands that people are asked to leave the country but are readmitted or appeal their expulsion all the time.
That's correct.
And so there are people here today in our state who are here lawfully who were previously rejected from this country, correct?
That's right.
And under this law, the way it is drafted right now, that a person who was legally allowed to come back into the country, readmitted by the federal government, that their immigration, whatever they did in the past, was forgiven or it was appealed, and they are now legally here as visa holders, as green card holders, or as whatever, they would be in violation of this law.
That's correct.
And the bill author himself did not seem to grasp that.
Right, and we've discussed it before. It's clear, black and white on the letters. It's jumping out that even if somebody has lawful status, you can be charged under the illegal re-entry, even if you have lawful status, if you've been deported
and in fact,
before.
The author of the bill repeatedly said, well, it's not the intent of this bill to do all those things that that people are afraid of, correct? You've heard him say repeatedly, well, that's not our intent, that's not the intent of the bill, that's not my intent.
That's correct, and he can't control the fact that there are going to be individuals who are going to use every word that's printed on this paper to arrest individuals.
So despite the fact that his contention to this body is that it is not the legislation's intent, it is not his intent, it is not the Senate author's intent, but that is what is clearly written on the black and white lettering of this legislation. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.